Hey, can I get some feedback? Some honest feedback? Hi, welcome to another episode of Unlocking the Mind Behind Make More Work Less. My name is Fong. I'm an entrepreneur, business strategist, real estate investor, speaker, and also a best-selling author. And every single day, I help others unlock potentials and guide them to succeed. Today on Unlocking the Mind, we talk about another cognitive bias. And the reason why I have this show is so that we could better understand how our minds work. We can make better decisions, build stronger relationships, and also avoid certain cognitive traps. So for today's cognitive bias, let me ask you a question. Have you ever asked people for feedback, for a testimonial, or just some comments about what you did or some products that you've created, and you want really honest feedback? Well, if you have you ever chosen certain people that you ask just because you think they will give you a good feedback? Well, if you have, then you're suffering from observer expectancy effect. So what exactly is that? That is when a person subconsciously influences others' feedback or incorrectly interprets results, data, and so that it lines up to what they actually want the outcome to be. So for instance, let's say you have some great ideas and you're going to go and express these ideas to your team members and your friends and your family and all that kind of stuff. So you call them or you put them all in a room and you tell them this great idea. You're so excited. You still tell them what you think and you tell them all this great stuff about your idea. And more likely than not, they go, oh yeah, that's a great idea. I really enjoy what you're saying. I agree what you're saying. And it's just great. So they gave you great advice and great feedback about your great idea. So then after a while, you go, you know what? I have great influence on all these people. Then the next time you try to do it, you might just want to email them and you don't talk to them directly. You don't have them face to face, and only to get some actual feedback back. So this feedback is more like there's more challenging questions. There's some challenging comments about your idea. And then all of a sudden you go, wait a minute, how come they're not as supportive as they are when you're actually in front of them? Well, that is because there's a certain thing where when you are speaking to people directly and instead of emailing them, there's a different kind of aura of authenticity there. There's a little bit different of feedback willingness that people are willing to give. So for instance, how about this? Let's say you wrote a book and you go, hey, I want some honest feedback, and you ask your best friend, there's a good chance your best friend is going to give you good feedback and they're going to be more supportive rather than giving that book to somebody else you don't really know and asking them for good feedback. There's some distance there, and therefore they're willing to actually give you some more actual feedback, some negative feedback, some comments, some questions, some challenging items for you to actually answer. So that is when you should choose whether or not you want to use observer expectancy effect or not. Sometimes you could use it for good. Sometimes you could use it for bad. If you honestly want true feedback, you need to avoid the observer expectancy effect because you want true survey data. You want data that actually comes in that's authentic. But if you want to kind of make sure that you get the good feedback, the good testimonials, you may want to ask people that you have a good belief in, or you truly believe that they will support you. And more likely than not, they will give you good feedback. Another situation is this. Let's say you invented a great energy drink and you claim that this energy drink is going to give you 2 times more energy than the other energy drink, or 2 or 3 times more energy than not having this drink. So let's say you go and grab 2 different groups, and these are random groups of people, and you want to test this theory out. You supply one group with the energy drink that you've created that you claim will have 2-3 times more energy for them. And then you give the other group just some other drink with actually nothing, no energy booster, which means it's just a control. It's a placebo kind of thing. So then you go and check on the people who are drinking your energy drink and you test their energy level. You give both groups the same kind of exercise regime and same kind of exercise testing. But then when you go and watch this group with the energy drink and you go, you know what? Wow, your energy level is so good. Look at your style, look at your progress, look at all this stuff. Obviously, you have gained more energy. But that's because you have a belief in your product. Now you go to the placebo, the control group, and you go, ooh, look at that. It's not as great. Oh, your energy seems a little low. And you kind of have this biased conception as to who's doing well and who's not doing well. And that is the observer expectancy effect. You kind of doctor or subconsciously give one group more credibility because you want that credibility to feed to you. So therefore, you need to avoid that. And how do you avoid that? By having true people do the testing and take you out of it. You want to get good feedback. You have to take that connection away from it so that you're not doctoring your results, so that you're not subconsciously leading the results to one way or another. This happens all the time when you go and get an appraisal done or a inspection done on a property. Sometimes that appraiser will tell you, so how much are you actually offering on this property? Well, technically, you don't want to have any say as to what this person is going to appraise your property at. You might want a true value of what that property is. But once you say a number, they might go, oh, yeah, I support that. And they give you the exact same number on the appraisal. That may or may not be to your advantage. And therefore, you may or may not want to tell them what you've actually offered. Same with the inspection. You might want to sway the inspection to be really, really bad so you could offer something else lower. But if you want a true inspection, you need to stay out of it and have that inspector inspect as they would inspect a normal place. And you would have no say in what the inspection comes out of. So this happens all the time, subconsciously, usually, because you don't morally want to doctor the results. You don't really want to force one way or another because you want true actual results. But sometimes we don't know what we're doing and we kind of unexpectedly kind of push things one way to another. So that is observer expectancy effect. You could use it for your advantage or for your disadvantage, but you have to see which way works better. For instance, if you truly want somebody to give you great testimonials or great feedback, then you just ask them, hey, if you enjoyed your experience, please leave a testimonial or leave some comments or leave some feedback. By putting it that way, you know that the people who are actually putting in their comments are usually going to be supportive. And that will be using the observer expectancy effect to your advantage. So hopefully you enjoyed this episode on Unlocking the Mind. And if you like this episode, please go back and watch some of my other episodes on Unlocking the Mind. And if you like this show, we have a lot of other shows. The Peak Potential Success Show, the Make More Mind Bites, and of course, the Mastermind Bites that's up every single week. So until next time, thank you very much for your likes, supports, and your subscriptions. I love seeing those comments as well. And until next time, today is the day to lock your peak potential. I'll see you later.